Hey everybody, welcome back to Sean and Jill See the World. This is the third video in our series from our latest trip on the Norwegian Jade. Today we're going to focus on our stops in Athens and the Greek islands. So our cruise actually started and finished in Athens. We only had the one night, and as you can see we got there, it was already dark. We did have time though from our hotel to climb up to see the Acropolis, up to the hill there. And as you can see, it was a beautiful night. If you do get a chance, it's gorgeous at night. You have a good view of the Acropolis and the surrounding city. Now, one thing I have to mention is our hotel, while it was on one of the main busy streets, not far from the Acropolis, it was not, as you can see, there's girls, 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 and the next thing you'll see is the kinky opera, I believe it's called. Yep, there it is. And that whole part of town looked a little rough. However, it was we found it very nice. Now, the first island we stopped at is the Island of Rhodes. Now, this island is well known for its walled medieval city that's still standing and still quite in use. Now, don't worry about a tour. When you go to Rhodes, don't worry about a tour. The ships dock right next to the wall. As you can see, it is literally a 2-minute walk to that first gate there. It's relatively flat. There's not much to worry about. And look, you can see there's a ship. We are right next to the city and everything you can ever want to see. Right when you walk in the gate, you'll see there's some ruins. Now, there's ruin upon ruins. They're there, and you just walk up and see them. There's some in this part of the city. There's signs on everything, tell you what it is, when it's from. Now we were one of the first ships of the season. We didn't find it particularly busy or particularly hot. It was nice and warm. It was beautiful. There's tons of shopping here, all very, very reasonable, and none of it we found was high pressure. Everything. The first place we stopped in town was the museum. Now you can get a pass that's good for the museum and the master's palace and a few other things. It does make things a lot cheaper, especially if you're not on an excursion like we weren't. Now this is just the outside gardens of the museum. It was worth the time. This here is the Way of the Knights. So along each side of here were the old Knights Templars lodgings, citadels, castles, whatever you want to call them. They're still there, and they're still marked. They're in use by separate historical societies of the island in some of the buildings. It was really kind of interesting walking up there and getting a sense of the history and what had happened and how it was way back when. Now you can see it is the biggest hill in the place. It is a bit of a hike, but it's not too bad. This is inside the master's palace. Now we got a little lost. We got in there, couldn't find our way around. It took us a few minutes to find how to get up the staircase, inside up and up the staircase, but we eventually found it. As you can see, the only thing we found here is there wasn't a lot of explanation. Lots of big empty rooms. They're very proud of the mosaics on the floor, but there was very little in the way of furniture or very little signage. The only signage was about the floors. So we spent a lot of time kind of guessing what each room was for and who may have used it, that kind of thing. But we did find it very interesting, and it's quite the place. Again, 100% worth the effort to go in and see. Now, after we finished there, we did make a little trip down to the water. You got to take a look at the ocean, of course. Not exactly sandy, just a rocky beach, but what it is. Here is where they say that the Colossus of Rhodes stood. Each one of those pillars is where one of his feet are supposedly were at one point in history. I always take all that with a bit of a grain of salt. And as you can see, we just walked along past the marina to get back to our ship. Again, not a long walk, maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes. Lots to see. It's even outside the wall, beautiful marina. And again, not much in the way of people bothering you. Very low profile. And there's the ship. The next stop was in Patmos. That was actually the last stop. Now, I didn't get any video for some reason, but you can see that's the tenders heading into town. And in town, it was nothing. It was very, very small, maybe a few thousand people on the whole island. Beautiful little shopping area, lots of little bistros to sit and eat at. The food was amazing. The prices were great. People were wonderful. Happy to have people back and around spending some money. Again, worth every minute. Now, there's a monastery at the top. Make sure you have some money left. The monastery won't let you in without the right amount of euros, and I didn't have the right number of euros, and they didn't have Interact. See you next.